Saka News, dateline January 1st, 1936. The United States is strong under the leadership of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Great Depression, more like great opportunity to find work. 25% of the population aren't picking themselves up by their bootstraps. Meanwhile, the Navy at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii is looking fit as a fiddle. I'm sure that will work out well for them. The King of the United Kingdom, King George V, is staying out of everyone else's business. It's a good thing, too, as the other King George learned not to mess with American superiority. Germany under Adolf Hitler is trying to rebuild after their massive defeat after World War I. I'm sure they're going to keep to themselves and not give anyone too much business. France stands ready to repel any invasion with great fervor. I'm sure France can hold out for quite some time. Spain is looking very stable. Even though 46% of their population is fascist and 47% democratic, I'm sure that will work out well for them. Soviet Mario says that the population is their greatest feature. I'm sure he wouldn't sacrifice any of his population. In the land of the rising sun, the God Emperor wants to stay to himself and certainly not invade China. Australia is seeing a revitalization of their legal system, appointing marsupials as defense lawyers. They call them kangaroo courts. And our story will focus on Poland, a proud nation who I'm sure will not be important at all in the next 5 years.
Hello again, everyone. Saka here, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, and a random country generator gave me Poland, so this may be a little bit of an uphill battle. This is the latest Barbarossa patch that came with the new Soviet Union DLC, but this is base game, so if you own Hearts of Iron 4, this is what to expect. There are new things like railroads that we can see chugging along right there. The supply has been completely overhauled, as well as military leaders having a bit of a personal touch, let's say, being able to promote those military leaders to advisors and all that good stuff. So it is January 1st, 1936, and of course there are many things to take care of. More importantly, watching our Western Front, as I don't have AI focuses historical, but it is probably only a matter of time before old Adolf comes across that border. So maybe shoring up our western side, maybe improving our army, getting organized, all that good stuff. First of all, we have 3 research slots available, and without further ado and delay, probably production efficiency is going to be big, as well as our research speed, 3% boost, and it looked like we didn't even know, So infantry, defense, and breakthrough, we don't even know 1918 weapons. We do have 1936 equipment, which is all well and good, but let's get some infantry, defense, and breakthrough there ready to go. We have free factories as well. We're using 10 consumer goods factories. As the world tension climbs higher, we can adjust fire there. You can see that we can build up infrastructure now, which is really important to supply. If we were to look at our supply map mode, wherefore art thou, supply map mode? There we go. So we can see sort of shaded here where our great supply is, our diminishing supply, and then in the southeastern corner we can see on the border with the Soviet Union, our supply really starts to run low, even though there is a rail line going there. But rails are going to be extremely important, and it'll be a minute for me to sort of come to grips with where supply is needed. But we do have some factories we're not using. We have 7 factories that we're not using. Let's build up some military factories then. Warsaw, or Warsawa, excuse my Polish, is full, but we do have space for 2 more over here, and that will be all of our factories in use. We also have production lines, so we are using 4 out of 9 military factories. We're actually building some fighter planes, and we do have an airport here capable of 200 planes, as well as 800 planes there, and we do have a bit of an air force. Hey, I'm not used to starting with an air force. So we have 108 fighters, 54 PZL-11s, and 22 close air support, so that is awesome. So I think we should continue at least one line of production on those interwar fighters. We don't have any rubber, but I don't think the Air Force is going to win us wars. The infantry equipment will. So let's put in a few more there for infantry equipment, and support equipment is going to be huge. That's going to be all 9 factories going, and we'll increase up that production efficiency there. Looking at our national focuses, or our focusi, man, this is a big tree for Poland. So the 4-year plan, we get 100% research to construction tech. We can do control Poland, state is not Danzig, and coastal, develop shipbuilding, or clamp down on Danzig. Don't know about that. Prepare for the next war wouldn't be bad, and that increases land doctrine speed. Complete the April Constitution, political power gain, ideology, drift defense, support for being unaligned, and 100 political power points. Restore the SEM, remove the April Constitution. Oof, I don't know about all that. Between the Seas conscript. So it looks like there's a lot to do down this branch. We will complete the April Constitution, yeah, sure. We'll roll with that. Unassigned divisions. All right, so let me get my military set up. We'll need our army and a group leader. I don't know if we can cram all of our units into one army, but let's take a look at our army here. So 28 divisions of infantry, 10 cav, and 2 mountaineers. All right, so let me get that set up and some armies put on our western border. All right, so I broke these guys up. We have our 28 infantry templates and 2 mountain divisions under 1 commander. Let's go ahead and assign and see what general we have. All right, so Vladislav Anders, who is a panzer leader. Sanitian, right, leader? Interesting. There's an infantry leader. So we will put Marion in there, and he can only hold 24. So let's break off 6 of our infantry here. And put them in another division there. For our 10 cavalry, do we have a cavalry? Old Guard, out of supply. Here's cavalry. All right, 10 out of 24 there, and then we have 6 infantry here. All right, the Old Guard and infantry there. A trickster for recon, max entrenchment wouldn't be bad. Let's go Lucan. And then for our army group, let's see, so max planning is good. Promotion cost, max entrenchment 30. I like the attack of Field Marshal Edward. So he'll be a Field Marshal there. Can we? There we go, get the whole army under him. So that is all well and good. Let's get some plans up then. And our... Let's see, do we want to do... I mean, they're okay on basic training. Once we have enough equipment, I think we can do some basic training to train them up. For now, let's get them on a defensive line. So let's put the front line right there along Germany. Oh, nope, wrong guys. Nope, stop that. We don't want that at all. We want the big infantry group. There we go. Front line right there along Germany's border. You guys hold there. As far as our other infantry goes, let's have them protect the ports. Victory points, ports, coastline. Yeah, let's just have them sort of do a little bit of everything. They'll spread out. And then for our cavalry, let's do area defense the same. All right, so when we unpause, they will start to do their work. We have 150,000 manpower, so getting some units in basic training wouldn't be too awful bad. Once we get our reinforcements, we're still trying to build all that stuff up. All right, decisions available. Improved worker conditions, there we go. Reorganize the railway system. What is the cost of this? So that's supply hub, construction speed, and commandeer civilian trains. All right, we don't want to hurt our stability there, but that's good to keep in mind. Low manpower, we're trying to grow. Insufficient resources, we need rubber. Can we get rubber from somewhere? The UK, perhaps? And that would be one factory. Or do we want to keep our factories in place? Yeah, I don't think that one rubber is going to hurt us that bad. We do have a brand new tab here, the Officer Corps. So we can add a Chief of the Army. And we don't have enough political power or command points to do such things as these, but we can add that command power, and they are the ones that research the doctrines. So that is a little bit of a change. If we go into our research branch, yes, indeed, the doctrines are no longer here in the research tab. So that is something to keep in mind. All right, I think we are now ready to unpause, and we'll go speed 3. And these guys will go ahead and get themselves organized, hop on trains, and do all that business, and the trains will run. How is our fuel consumption? So, no. Fuel capacity at 97, daily gain at 192. And fuel is going up. That is outstanding. Production queues were 14,000 in the whole as far as infantry equipment is concerned. 183 behind as far as the support equipment. Do we want to deploy the Air Force as it stands? Do we have a Navy? So we got 2 ships in dock. We have 1 destroyer and 1 submarine. Yeah, so the sea here, I don't want to use up all of our gas just patrolling that, and we're not sort of in a bad location now. But we want these guys' organization to get up, we want their fighting strength to get up, and we need them supplied quick, fast, and in a hurry. So yes, reinforcements will be our top priority, supply trucks and garrisons. And that's another thing, too, that I believe our factories can do, is do supply. So we've got railways and supply hubs in Allied territory. A point along a railway. And we're already at low supply right there. Holy crap. So do we build a supply hub closer to Germany? Because these guys are on low supply already. Just for shiggles, let's see how this works. If we built a supply hub, right there. Okay. Let's ship that to the top of the queue. And we'll see when the supply hub gets built there, whether or not that handles our supply shortages. Yeah, it's just crazy putting everything on the Western Front, and the Western Front is not well supplied at all. So I can definitely see where the supply game is going to be. You can see the heat map as our army has fortified that Western Front. A lot of supplies are needed over here. Yeah, so I don't think we're in trouble with Germany just yet. We might tell these guys to just do area defense. Okay, I gotcha. So we'll spread these guys out a bit. Make sure that the supplies hold fast. 1 and 2 there. We'll do 1 at the airport down here. Yeah, just sort of on the south here. Get everyone sort of organized, and we will watch and see what our supply does as they move. Yeah, I like that dynamic heat map. You can see at a quick glance where folks are going to run into trouble for sure. Modify our officer corps. Alright, so that is unlocked with experience and not research tech. That is interesting indeed. So if we were to modify our officer corps, is it our Navy command that we can do? Alright, so for 50 political power, we can put in an old guard in charge of the Navy. And I don't want to do that just yet. We have some decisions to make here, for sure. Maybe an industrial concern. Research speed for electronics, or just plain industry for 150. Yeah, let's save up our political power to put those in place. Hopefully we're gaining some manpower. And yeah, that's supply. Even just one mountain division right there in that particular province of, yeah, that one. He's running low on supplies. So that is crazy indeed. But interesting for sure. It adds a whole new dynamic. We're probably going to get steamrolled by Germany anywho, but this is sort of a first look of what we are doing here. Research is going along swimmingly. We're going to be 46 days away from electronic mechanical engineering, so that will be a boost to speed as well. Looking at production lines, they are almost at their cap. So their cap is at 80 and they get 0.1 per day, which is okay. And we've got 5 planes in the stockpile, slowly getting that support equipment back. The premier thing we need to do is definitely get military factories on infantry equipment production for sure. And that will come in time. Luckily, the infantry equipment here doesn't require any new upgrades or equipment. Let's say it's just a stock bonus. So that is all well and good. In 83 days, that cap will go up, so we won't reach the cap before we get there. Production can continue. Keep on keeping on. And how is our... So that will be done in the middle of next year, that supply area. Tell you what, we'll drop that back down to the bottom. Yeah, so a military factory will be done in a few months. So yeah, military factories are going to be the name of the game here once we get that produced. Stability. War support is low, I can imagine. Looking at our ideology, so 40% unaligned, 31% democratic. A lot of people just don't want to get in this war. They don't want to follow anyone. If we could perhaps get our democracy up and become a member of the Allies before Germany, or I don't know if we want to try to boost the fascism before Germany starts steamrolling to the right. Maybe we can be an ally before the invasion. Sort of save ourselves the inevitable blitzkrieg in 3 years' time. That may be a tall order. We're going to need some political power to do that. But we can get a theorist. So a military theorist lowers land doctrine. But we don't have any land doctrine costs because we have no chief of the army, but we can add one now. Kazimierz Sosnowski gets army experience gain, division defense is good. We do have enough command power as well. Okay, so with him, we can gain army experience, and that will allow us to get into our land doctrines. Probably a poor decision, but welcome on board there, Kazimierz. Alright, so our army experience should be going up 0.09 per day. We're going to need, thank you, Italy. Yeah, we're going to need 100 to get the grand battle plan. But I like that defense. We're going to need that, for sure. So minus 50 land knight attack, we've got 30, and the April Constitution is done. So political power gain increased, the drift defense increased, advisor costs lowered, economy laws lowered, conscription laws lowered, and 100 free political power points replace low with moderate. Senation right opposition, effective change, replace left opposition with moderate opposition, and activates these missions here. Interesting. So going down from that is the Polish Militarism to gain 20 army experience, grants more recruitable population and war support, and damage to garrison reduction, with more political power gain, more advisor cost reduction, laws cost reduction, conscription laws reduction. All right, so Polish militarism in 35 days, okay? We can roll with that. I've never played Poland before, so that may be a part of the old base game, or that could be something new with this patch. I do not know. How is supply looking? Pretty terrible still here in the southeast. The capital, of course, has a lot of supply. And we actually have a gun sitting there. I don't know if we're going to be able to research railroad artillery. We might not last that long, but that's something to keep in mind for the future. Yes, getting up to that cap, 58%, and we're making 26 rifles per day. That's still a lot of days away, but we can see the light at the end of the tunnel as far as our support equipment, so that will start going into our stockpile. We won't be able to recruit any new infantry, though, with that massive need for rifles. Do we shift off of the fighter planes and put another factory on infantry equipment? Might not be a bad idea. We'll lose that production efficiency for planes, but I don't think planes are going to save us. I believe the infantry will. So let's get another factory producing infantry equipment, and now we don't have a supply shortage. We don't need rubber no more. So that is all well and good. Outstanding. So, yeah, if we can do something to do, let's see, so free trade, better construction speed, research speed, factory output. We need 150 political power. Okay, so we're almost there. There is our mechanical engineering done, so that is a boost to research speed, radio, reinforcement rates, and more mechanical heating. Outstanding. More research speed. 43 days away from our machine tools and our infantry bonus, and we can now modify our government, but we cannot change economy, as I don't know what that symbol is. We have enough political power, but what in the gravy is that? Cannot replace an embargoed economy. Is that from one of our modifiers here? Could be. All right, so in the interim, though, our industrial concern for industrial research speed, 15%. Yeah, that will come in very handy indeed. I don't think we need... So weapons and equipment research speed, we need to build them before we can research them. If there was anything to improve our construction. So that's research, research, research. Doctrines. We're not in the realm of tanks and aircraft and all that happy stuff. Military staff, we don't need chief of navies or anything of that nature. And high command, I mean, that's better army experience. We don't have the command power, though. So our industrial concern, industry research speed. The more we can get our factories producing, the better. I think that is the best call as far as that's concerned. And at the end of this year, we'll have full fuel storage. We're not moving around. We're not flying. So that is all well and good as well there. We have full logistics fulfillment and 10 convoys. Not needing any convoys, of course. Looking at our stockpile, though, we have 18 trains in storage and 9 extra fighters. And support equipment is indeed almost there. Yeah, so at the end of the week, we will have enough support equipment, and we can just continue stockpiling that for future regiments, and that is where we are going to be lacking for a long time. doesn't cost any political power to do, say, diplomacy with the United Kingdom. We can improve relations to start improve and a daily cost. Yeah, we need our political power. But would they help us in times of war? See, I don't know exactly what Germany is doing. It's an unknown focus. We don't have the intel to see exactly what Germany is doing. So all we can do is slowly and surely build up our supplies, and military factories should be coming online soonish. Alright, militarism is now complete. The consolidation of the Senation government. More political power gain, drift defense, daily support for unaligned goes up, and more advisor reduction costs. So that will help our advisor costs. Does that mean we are really focused on being unaligned though? That could be. We would need to get a democratic reformer in here, and we need to restore the SEM, which is over here. All right, so we've sort of funneled down the non-democratic path. The Senation left, the Senation right, and the castle coming up. That's going to be a pretty big decision from what I can tell. What is our manpower growth? Let's see, recruitable, yep, all that good stuff. 0.006 is mobilizing per day. Yeah, we're going to be on low manpower for quite some time. Irritation. They're divided into camps to the left and the right who both seek to disrupt our rule. We must appease the sideline the parties appropriately so that they may create a stable government for Poland's future. This is new. So what happens when they become irritated in 3 months' time? Or 4 months' time? See, anti-communist raids, anti-fascist raids, promises of peace. That is stability gain and lowers war support. So do we increase our stability? Possibly, especially if that irritation gets up there, we may need stability. That is interesting indeed. Alright, so we have 108 planes on standby. Do we tell them to do training during the day? Pilot exercises with normal operations? Try to get those 108 fighters ready to go? Possibly. Alright, machine tools done. Concentrated industry. More factories, more factory output. And then 5 days away from the stock infantry bonus. And as for our aircraft, let's just do regular pilot exercises. Make sure that we don't use up fuel, but these guys are rookies. So if we want our aircraft to be any sort of help in the coming fight, they're going to need to get up there and learn how to fly. That is a must for sure. So they consume 95 per day. That's no biggie. So we got our mobile infantry. We already know mountain divisions. If we do support, this is the 1939 stuff. We're a little bit ahead of time. I don't think we are in the position to build tanks. But we can get... We don't even have any artillery stored up in our warehouses. So artillery bonus wouldn't be good if we could do something else. We do know the Karis, 1940 for our next aircraft. Engineering, we could do some reinforcement rates and radio. Or construction. Yeah, construction speed, just flat construction speed. Get more factories in here to help our supply lines out. Get our soldiers the equipment they need. We're still 10,000 guns short. But luckily we are building up support equipment stockpile. And we are building up fuel even though we are practicing, our rookies are out there flying, during the daytime only of course, on normal operations, bringing it home. They don't want to crash. We better not crash. And looking at political power, yes indeed, it's still just our Navy commander. But we're up to 26 Army experience. Do we drill to get more experience with our big infantry division? I think if we do some exercising, we can get some more Army experience as far as that is concerned. We would be using our infantry equipment up, setting that back. But let's do the side saddle hop. 1, 2, 3. Alright, the remilitarization of the Rhineland. So Germany is stationing troops in the Rhineland. Hitler is doing Hitler stuff. And if we are consolidating the government, the Senation left, the right, and the castle, let me take a read through these and see which way I would like to go. So looking at this, the castle seems the way I would like to go. It lowers the opposition on both the left and the right, giving us more stability, more support for being unaligned, and recruitable population that will lead into maintaining the dictatorship. And then we might be able to break off from that. So we will start the castle. And no divisions in basic training. That is because we don't have any infantry equipment to give them, but we can start training up some infantry and just have the garrisons on low priority so that the weapons go out to the front, and as they come in, our soldiers in basic training will get them. So this guy can hold, man, 72 divisions on his own. Okay, why 4? Because. Alright, if we do something like this and give them to him, reassign. Yeah, there we go. So they can hold up 72. That's what I like to see. Is the Belgians? Oh, the Neutrality Act. Alright, so we've got all of those infantry and the mountain divisions doing basic training, and we have our 10 cavalry split off. So let us maybe do some. So it's a straight 3x3 with a recon detachment. We might be able to add an engineering company with our army experience. That would add some, yeah, support equipment, infantry equipment need, and even more manpower, but we get more hit points, hard and soft attack and defense. We'll save that template. And then slowly and surely they will be getting their infantry equipment or support equipment. So yeah, now they're down by 700. So it's a good thing that we are producing that. And let's get a few divisions in basic training. Let's add. Yeah, let's add one group, low equipment priority there. They have their manpower, but not their equipment. That's fine. We'll just have them in basic training ready to go, waiting on that stuff. But first and foremost, coming from our stockpile, going to our soldiers on the ground. Alright, so we do have a few soldiers still training up. I mean, ideally we would break these guys off into a training regiment. But that's fine. Or is it? Are we at the point where we're going to nitpick that? Yep, let's make a dedicated training battalion. So you guys stop training. You guys are going to train. There we go. So they will continue their training. And then as they get trained up, they will be put back into the regular army and sent on their way. Alright, so we can do an Air Force commander as well. Air experience gain Air superiority and air experience gain with our 20 command power. Do we want to use our power there? Or do we want a military theorist for land doctrine reduction down to 90? Material designers, weapons and equipment research speed will be good. Political advisor, the smooth talking charmer. Captain of industry. Infrastructure, civilian factories, railways. That's not what we need. War industrialist. Military factory, dockyard, and fuel silo. Yeah, let's get Joseph Haller in there to help us build our military factories. And looking at that, it's going to be done in next month. We'll have another military factory that we can add. Yeah, let's not do that supply hub. Looking at supply, we should be okay for the most part. All right, sweet. So I don't know if that is because of a supply leader is using less supply here. This mountain division is okay.
What's lost?
But yeah, I think we are off to an okay, stable start. 16 June 1936, we have soldiers spread out all over the place. Hitler is redoing the Rhineland, looking at the United Kingdom. We probably can't tell what they're doing, but all well and good, and I'm sure the United States is certainly still in the Great Depression. Indeed, under FDR, only 10% fascism, 89% democratic. I don't know if we are going to see the United States flip. Looking at Japan, yeah, 100% fascist. Not at war yet, only 3% world tension coming from the Rhineland and Italy taking Ethiopia, which, right, yeah. Speaking of Italy, we are down here with 76% fascist, 22% democratic. And yeah, just sort of seeing, there's the castle done. All right, more than 50% support for Sanjaka. Support chemical industry. Add 30 days to the mission and an extra building slot and a synthetic refinery. That will help our fuel. 30 days and change in communism and democracy. So let's support the chemical industry, get more fuel production up in here, and we will call this a good episode 1, everyone. But like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll see you in the next Hearts of Iron 4 video. Take care.